Hello and welcome to the channel. I'm Volcano-AC, and in this episode I will take you through my journey of purchasing a reactive power amp attenuator. In previous episodes I show you the purchase process, unboxing, and studio setup of my new ACS 8x4 KHE amplifier and speaker cabinet switcher. Links to these videos in the description below. This switcher allows me to switch between 8 amplifiers and 4 cabinet or load boxes. The switcher has a power attenuator loop section, but I don't have a reactive power attenuator. I need to get one so that the gain and volume knobs of all my tube amps connected to the switcher can be cranked up to get the sonic goodness of the tubes. At low volumes, tube amps can't deliver the heavy sounds the amps are known to deliver. Currently, I have one effects loop section attenuator, the JHS Little Black Amp Box Passive Amp Attenuator, which is a loop section attenuator and not a reactive power amp attenuator. That means that this attenuator needs to go in the loop section of an amp, and it can't go in the power attenuator loop section of the KHE switcher. If I put this JHS pedal in a power amp loop section, it could get fried due to the high power coming out of the attenuator loop section. Therefore, I will search today for a reactive power attenuator, and preferably one with an effects loop section so that effect pedals, such as reverb and delay, can be shared across all amps. In addition, and I know this will increase the cost, I would like that the reactive power amp attenuator can double up as an impulse response loader. I know I'm asking for a lot right now, but having an option of recording straight into my audio interface and load different IRs on the fly will make my recording much more efficient and flexible. Plus, I will save the cost of buying an additional reactive IR load box that can cost a pretty penny. Alright, let's get to my computer and check out two sites, Sweetwater and Vintage King. This is not a sponsored video. I will purchase this power attenuator with my own money. Alright, let's get into it. Alright, and we are here at Sweetwater's website, and I searched for reactive attenuators, and I did the same thing at Vintage King's website. Let's start with Sweetwater. Here in Sweetwater, the best match that it's giving me is the Aux Box Reactive Amp Attenuator that goes for $1,500 plus taxes. This unit is known to not only be a reactive amp attenuator, but also have speaker modeling capabilities. And you can see this unit over here. You can choose your rig over there or the room over here. It also comes with an app that you can use in order to create your rig to taste. And then you have the speaker volume, the line out, and the headphone. I should mention that some of my amps have a headphone capability. However, I have never put my tube amplifiers on headphones, so not a function that is specifically for my use. Here in the back of the aux box, you can choose 4, 8, and 16 impedance. Now, I'm only at 8 of impedance because I am really not having right now any 16 or 4, so I don't need that switching capability, but it's good to have in case in the future I get a different speaker that requires that. And then here it goes to speaker. This comes from the amplifier with a maximum amp of 150 watts which actually is good because the KHE amp cap switcher has the same 150 watt rating. So it is good that this will match with both. So I make sure I don't get an amplifier more than that in the future. Lines left and right out. All right. So you have the USB over here and SPDIF over here and the power over there. Now there's something that this unit is missing, which is an effects loop that for me it's going to be extremely, extremely important. And something that you need to know is if you're planning to use this device with an app or with your iPhone, for example, to control it remotely, make sure that you have 2.4 gigahertz Wi-Fi because it is not compatible with 5 gigahertz bands. All right. So anyways, I think I will pass on this one because I really need that effects loop section. Let's check out the Stone King Ironman that goes for almost half the price of that aux box. Of course, this one is not going to come with an app or anything like this. You can see here amplifier depending on the impedance and similar for the speakers. Line out, foot switch, DI output, and this one, let me see in the other side. You see here the attenuation. Here are all the controls, but something that I would like to mention for this particular unit is right here, that balanced XLR output. It comes with an analog cabinet simulation and a built-in dummy load as well. So that is good to know. And then you saw that the line out jack was there. So this one can be used to drive another amplifier, mixer, audio interface, and even much more things. The rating for this one, of course, is 100 watts maximum. So for example, if you have a PV 6505 2, that's 120 watts. So that would be more than this. I don't have that amp right now, but maybe in the future I will get one of those. So this one then will be obsolete by that point. And again, this one has no effects loop. And really, I don't think I can load IRs here either. So based on that, even though it's more reasonably priced, I'll have to pass on this one. Let's move on and check out the Boss Waza Tube Amp Expander, which is another attenuator, which is priced a bit less than the aux box and way more than the Iron King that we just checked out right now, or I should say Tone King Iron Man. So let's go back to the Waza expander. Look at this. This one has a tremendous amount of capabilities. You can adjust the impedance for the reactive load right there. And in the user manual, it tells you which are the recommendations depending on your amplifier and speaker. You have here the speaker output, and look at this. This, or I should say speaker knob to control it. And look at this. It has the effects loop that I have been looking for. And in addition to that, and this is a bonus, it has effects already on board. Actually, I think the Auxbox has effects as well. So that was good. Now, this one has the effects loop plus the effects. I believe it is reverb and delay. It has a solo EQ section as well, and amp central something. I don't know what this button here is for, but we'll find out. And then you can choose 10 different rigs. It comes preloaded. However, you can create your own with its own software as well. So that is excellent. So this is the one that is truly comparable to the Auxbox in the sense that you can have an app to adjust your parameters to taste. I really like that. And you have your reverb over here, which is great because it's shared across all the different amps. I love that. You have the line out knob. And for the phones that, like I just mentioned, I don't use a whole lot. Now, let's look at the back of this unit. You have your power section over here. and then to speaker, out B, out A. And then again, you can adjust here for your impedance as well. Max 150 watts, same as the aux box, so that's excellent. Input level, 10 to 100 watts, 50 watts, that's good. Amp central, I suppose this is what it means. We can check it out in a bit. Pulse, latch, invert, foot control in case you want to control that with a foot switch. MIDI capabilities, that's fantastic. USB to connect straight to your computer, and then you have your FX loop. This is exactly what I've been looking for in a reactive attenuator, the FX loop. So this is really fantastic. And then you have your mono out for the front of the house, and then your line out left and right. Still, you have more level, -10 plus 4, and your loop, you want in parallel or in series. Whoa, this is the real deal, to be honest, at least on my opinion. It's gonna be really, really hard to beat this particular reactive attenuator. Let's go down here, and it's on the name that it has not only the attenuation capability, but it is an IR loader, USB interface, and onboard effects. Whoa. Basically, it's all in one for over $1,300 plus tax. So it's going to be about $1,500 when everything is said and done. So here you go. It has XLR outs, onboard cab and mic sims, plus a 4-spot IR loader. There we go. So it's not 10 IR loaders. This is probably the internal memory from its own software, that 10 different rigs. But then we have a 4-spot IR loader. Now, something I really want to know before I decide on this is what is going to be the length of the IRs, because that's extremely important. Anything that is less than 20 milliseconds, I'm not interested on. If it's 18, for example, this will definitely be a no. But if it's 20 or more, that'll be great. If it's 200, then it will be more than incredible. So let's go ahead and ask Google that, and I'll just do it like so. And look at this. This is the Roland Boss website, and it says the WASA expander. Is there any limitation on the length of the IR impulse response to be loaded? And they say there are no limitations on the length of impulse responses. It can load both 200 and 500 milliseconds. Whoa, this is incredible. So it makes it much more valuable for me at this moment in time. So FX loop equipped, that's great because it is what I'm looking for. It's a MIDI hub. Whoa, this is really blowing my mind as well. And it has really good recording parameters right there, 32-bit over 96 kilohertz quality. So I'm happy with that. And it can go, even though it says this is for 100 watts, or more specifically 100, ideally, it can go up to 150 watts. So that's great, especially, like I said, if I want to do 65052 in the future, it will still hold because that one is 120 watts. Okay, so super candidate, the Boss WASA Tube Amp Expander. But before we move on, let's check out the manual, specifically item number 5, the amp control or amp central, just to see what exactly it does. So here it is. It switches the tube's amps channel. It turns it either off or on, pretty simple. And the button right next to it, which was number 4, the solo EQ button, it turns the equalizer on and off. So, and By raising the equalizer's volume setting, you can use this as a solo button as well. And note that the equalizer volume can be specified by using the dedicated software. So that is fantastic. So now we know exactly for what we can use this amp control. And about the solo EQ button. All right, now let's move on to our next option, which is the 2 notes torpedo Captor X. This is a reactive load box, DI, and an attenuator. There's different ohms choices. This is the 8 ohms one, and I like it very much. It comes with an app. It is really solid. However, my issue with this one is it will not have that effects loop section where I could share the effects pedals across all the amps connected to it. So therefore, this Torpedo Captor X, it will not work for me. Moving on with the next. This is the small version of the Tone King Iron Man, but we already took a look at the 100-watt one. And then we have this other one, the Torpedo Captor, but this is not the X, this is just the Captor. Well, you know, in a previous stage of my studio journey, I will have gone for this particular one, or maybe the Captor X. But now I think I need something with much more capabilities, just because I don't want to be buying small pieces and putting them like a puzzle all together. Might as well get the unit that has everything. And otherwise, I regret over the years why I didn't get the one that was going to really serve the needs of my studio. Now, take a look at this one. This is an 8 ohm. I don't think this Mesa Cap Clone IR Plus can be adjusted in terms of the ohms. So you need to go on and get the exact one you need. So in this particular case, is the 8 ohms. And it's not available, but it comes every now and then because I've seen it around. But basically, this one is an attenuator with the IR cap simulator. However, it also doesn't have an effects loop. If this will have effects loop, I think I will totally decide for this one over the Wasa Tube Expander. I do have delay, reverb, and all kinds of effects pedals, so I really don't need those from the Tube Wasa Expander. But of course, it's good that it comes with them, because that way it makes my life even simpler and it gives me more options. Actually, the effects that I have are not Boss. There are other brands. For example, I have the KHE Electronics Plethora X3. So it'll be nice to have different brand effects as well, just to goof around. All right, so I really like this attenuator and IR cap simulator, but again, I wouldn't be able to share the effects across all my tube amplifiers. So basically, that's what we were able to find here at Sweetwater. Now, let's move on to Vintage King. I don't want to make this video super long, so I'll try to summarize here because most of these ones are the same. Even the Boss Wasa Tube Expander is right there. Here, what we have is the Frayette. Basically, let's be honest, that's why I'm at Vintage King, to check out this Frayette. They have the PS2A and the PS100, which are a bit similar, but not quite so. They have some differences, but the main thing for me is how about the effects loop section, and it is right here. You can see this one does have the effects loop section. However, this one, in this one, I cannot load IRs as far as I know. And then when we see the other Frayette, the PS100, let's check it out. This one, it has effects, loop section, but also I cannot load IRs. So these Frayette power stations are extremely high quality and they are very similar to each other. They both have the same voicing options for frequency response, and they both have the same effects loop section and XLR output. And they're both with the tube power section. The PS2, this one over here, has two 6L6 tubes for 50 watts, and then the PS100, this one over here, has two 6550s tubes for 100 watts. However, I should say that this one is a 200 watts maximum that you can use, which I'm not expecting I will do in the future, but it's a good option if you have those type of amplifiers. Now, the difference I should say is that the PS100 can be used as two-channel foot switchable, just for tonal flexibility. But again, I cannot load IRs in either one. And then the final unit that I will be checking out is the SOAR Reactive IR, which it has, of course, the capability of loading IRs and also to attenuate. However, it does not have an effect loop section. Now let's check out the back of this Shure Reactive Attenuator, and here it is, inputs and outputs. So based on what we have seen today, I'm ready to take my final decision. Alright, so I have decided for the Boss Wassa Tube Amp Expander Amplifier Attenuator, this one right here, and it ships from the Sweetwater's New Arizona Fulfillment Center. So let me go ahead and add it to my cart right there, and I'm gonna hide my Sweetwater's sales engineer's name. I'm gonna log into my account, check out, and get my payment done. Alright, and I log into my account, my payment information and delivery address is correct, so I'm in the step number 4, reviewing my order. So we have the Boss Wassa Tube Amp Expander Amplifier Attenuator, and as listed, it is $1,299 with 99 cents. However, of course, we gotta pay tax for a grand total of $1,403 with 66 cents. Any questions or comments? No, I think that I am ready to press place the order, and let's do it. And it is going there. Couple of seconds while it processes my order, and it went through. I can't wait to get here in the studio this Boss Wassa Tube Amp Expander and connect it to my KHE amp cab switcher. Alright, let me know in the comments below if you will have chosen the same Reactive Power Attenuator, or would you have gone with the Oxbox or the Tone King, Iron Man, or the Frayette. Stay tuned for the unboxing video of the Boss Wassa Tube Expander and Attenuator. If you like this video, don't forget to smash the like button, and for more videos like this, don't forget to subscribe. Thank you for stopping by, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.